hello again to another episode of Aga Calero Reacts. And today we're watching the 10 healthy choices that are less healthy than you think from top 10s. So it's another video hosted by Simon Whistle from Today I Found Out. So let's just go to it and let's start. There you go.
Everyone wants to be healthy to some degree or another. Even if you want to eat nothing but pizza and beer every day, you'll still probably like to maintain your weight and an overall sense of good health when you do it. But the world doesn't work that way. In fact, the world works against us in a lot of ways. Even things that seem like they're supposed to be healthy aren't as healthy as we like to think. Some of them are even worse than the unhealthy choices.
I wonder how many are kind of
Number 10,
know around.
grape juice has 33% more sugar than soda. Dietitians and doctors have been fairly vocal about the dangers of drinking soda for a while now. Not that a Pepsi is going to make your arms fall off, but it does have a lot of sugar, caffeine, acid, and more, and can contribute to things like tooth decay, obesity, and even hair loss. For many people, a reasonable alternative would seem to be fruit juice. It's sweet, like a delicious can of Dr. Pepper, but it's all natural, and that means good. In theory, at least. But the truth is that some juice is arguably worse for you than drinking a soda. Grape juice, for instance, has 33% more sugar in it than an equivalent amount of soda. Welch's grape juice is arguably worse for you in terms of sugar and calories than a Mountain Dew, and no one has ever accused Mountain Dew of being healthy. Number 9. Movie theater popcorn has more calories than whole meals. Part of the ritual of going to the movies is to get a snack, and that is, most stereotypically, a big bucket of popcorn. Popcorn and movies have gone hand in hand for decades now. But it's not always the best choice on the menu, even if popped kernels of corn seem healthier than M&Ms or a hot dog. Because of the butter topping and oil that the popcorn is popped in, it often has a staggering amount of hidden fat. As in, you may get more calories and fat in your popcorn than you'll find in an entire meal, or in fact several whole meals. The worst perpetrator is potentially the 85-ounce AMC Cheddar Crunch Gourmet popcorn. This thing has 4,550
This
calories
like
and
popcorn and there's barely any butter on it
fat.
and some salt.
Jesus! A Big Mac from McDonald's has 550 calories and 30 grams of fat.
I have
So
to
if
say,
you ate
because
this
I
whole
was
bucket
talking,
of popcorn
so...
and 341 grams of fat. Jesus! A Big Mac from McDonald's has 550 calories and 30 grams of fat. So if you ate this whole bucket of popcorn, as many people do over the course of a
but it's
movie,
probably
you'd be
like
consuming
cheese
the
and
fat
butter.
equivalent of 11
Don't
Big
scratch
Macs and
that.
the
Come
calories
here.
of 8.
Come to me.
Number
Come
8,
to me, Shadow.
Campbell's Tomato Bisque has almost as much sugar as Coke.
Guys,
Soup is one of
look
those
at this
foods
little
we
face.
approach with
Look how
Christmas
hungry
and
she is.
comfort. Campbell's really
Cheers,
leans into
okay.
this with their marketing, and it's true. Lots of people really like a hot bowl of soup, especially on a cold day. But not all soups are created equal, and some are less healthy than others. Usually, we consider more plain soups to be healthier. Simple broth or tomato soup are considered good, healthy choices with maybe
depending what the broth is made from, though.
need to worry about. But that's not always true. Campbell's Tomato Bisque soup, for instance, is jam-packed full of sugar, which you might not expect. There's 37.5 grams per can, in fact. The thing is, you need to take a second to figure this out, because Campbell's labels their cans of condensed soup with the caveat that each can represents 2.5 servings. Now, whether or not you get 2.5 servings out of a can of soup is debatable, but that means if you eat one can in a sitting, as many people do, you need to multiply all of the numbers by 2.5. For some sweet perspective, that means a can of tomato bisque soup is nearly equal in sugar to a can of Coke. It also equals out to about 8 Oreo cookies. So while the soup may be tasty, you might want to keep it away from diabetics.
Look at her.
Number 7. Unfrosted Pop-Tarts have more calories than frosted ones. If you're trying to eat healthy, there's a good chance you're not reaching for Pop-Tarts. But for the sake of argument, let's say all you have on hand is Pop-Tarts. Let's say you have one box of frosted and one box of plain. Which one's going to be healthier? And look, if you're this far into this, you could probably guess the answer, can't you? Even though it seems like a frosted Pop-Tart has to be unhealthier. I mean, it's literally coated in sugar frosting. Well, that's not actually the case. Unfrosted Pop-Tarts have more fat and more calories because they make them thicker. The frosting on a normal Pop-Tart makes them bigger, so an unfrosted Pop-Tart has a thicker crust to make up the difference. That's pure carbohydrate and fat. The difference is small, just 10 calories, but it's noteworthy to anyone who is trying to keep an eye on things. Number 6. Campbell's chicken noodle has double the sodium of a Big Mac. Let's head back to Campbell's soup for a moment, but for a new reason. We know some tomato bisque has too much sugar now, but what about the classic chicken noodle soup?
Shadow!
This is one that has comforted countless victims of the common cold for generations. What could it be hiding? Well, it's hiding salt.
Just knock over my
a
phone.
lot of salt. To start, there's something to be said for sodium content.
Okay.
You do need sodium in your diet, but it's recommended that you limit it to 2,300 milligrams. And lucky for us, that means you can safely eat 1 can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup per day because it contains 2,225 milligrams. This is, again, because Campbell's labels their cans under the assumption that you're getting 2.5 servings out of each one. If that were accurate, then you'd be consuming 890 milligrams per serving. For some context, 28 grams of Lay's original potato chips have 170 milligrams of sodium. A large bag is 280 grams or 10 servings, which is 1,700 milligrams of sodium, or about 3/4 of a can of soup. A Big Mac, on the other hand, has 1,010 milligrams of sodium, or about 45% a can of soup. Number 5. Bud Light still has more calories than Coca-Cola. Some people like the idea of eating and drinking light, but still enjoying themselves, and that's where light beer comes in. It's arguably a healthier option than regular beer, as it has fewer calories and less alcohol. But light beer, it needs to be remembered, is only relatively light. It's light compared to non-light beer. That doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. Alcohol has 7 calories per gram, fat has 9 calories per gram, and carbohydrates have just 4. So alcohol is remarkably high in calories, and many people don't realize that.
The
result is that
Bud
even a
Light?
12-ounce can of Bud Light beer is going to have 146 calories. That's 6 more calories per can than a Coke. Number 4. A KFC chicken pot pie is loaded with fat and calories. If you like fried chicken, chances are you've had KFC at least once in your life, but it's no secret that fried chicken is not a healthy food.
What is that thing next to the bun?
Right in the name.
It's like a peach or something.
Though, right? And if you like KFC, there are alternative menu options. For instance, you could try the chicken pot pie instead of the fried chicken. While KFC isn't claiming the pot pie is a healthy option in lieu of fried chicken, it is a clear alternative, and it seems it might be better for you at first glance. I mean, it's not fried, and it's got vegetables. The truth is that a pot pie from KFC is loaded with fat and calories. One pie has 720 calories and 41 grams of fat. A keel piece from KFC, that's the breast without the ribs, has 290 calories and 13 grams of fat. A drumstick's 140 with just 8 grams of fat, and that means one pot pie has as much fat as 5 drumsticks or 3 breasts. Number 3. A cup of banana chips has almost as much fat as a quarter-pounder hamburger. The quest for a healthy snack has taken many people down a long, arduous, and often disappointing road. The best snacks are often the unhealthiest, and that's simply because all the unhealthy things like fat and salt taste so good. So, finding something tasty but also healthy can take some time. Fruit is usually looked at as a great alternative to most processed snacks, and even if it has higher sugar, it's natural sugar and it's not nearly as bad within reason. But sometimes even fruit can throw a curveball, like when you take a closer look at banana chips. On the surface, a banana chip seems ideal. It's crunchy, it's sweet, it checks off a couple of your snack craving boxes right there, but you need to get the right chips. Many banana chips are made by frying the banana slices in oil. The result is 1 cup of banana chips, which can have 24 grams of fat and 374 calories. That's almost as much fat as a quarter pounder from McDonald's and 3 times the calories of an equivalent amount of potato chips. Number 2, a cup of 1% milk has more calories than a Coke. Milk does a body good, we've all heard that, but milk is also a remarkably high-calorie drink, all things being equal. It shouldn't be a secret, it's meant to nourish babies and help them grow, so it needs to be packed with calories. That said, the dairy industry has offered up degrees of milk with varying levels of milk fat, and that has convinced a lot of people that milk is maybe a lower-calorie beverage than it really is. A cup of whole milk has 150 calories, and that is definitely fairly high, but 1% milk, which is just a step above skim and seems like a lower calorie option, still has 110 calories. That makes 1% milk higher calorie than Coca-Cola.
Coke's 150 calories, but 12
she went after 12 ounces of 1% would equal about 165 calories. Number 1. Meatless burgers are higher in saturated fat and sodium than beef. Meatless burgers continue to struggle to find their place in the market with some degree of success. When Impossible Burgers first appeared, they were a bit of a fad, and their popularity has since declined. Part of the problem with meatless burgers is that they're not necessarily a healthy alternative to meat. They may meet people's moral requirements, but their nutrition is a mixed bag.
Really?
You can get good protein and vitamins from a meatless burger, but also a lot of saturated fat. Impossible Burgers and Beyond Meat burgers have more saturated fat than just regular ground beef. They also have 4 to 5 times the amount of sodium. Meatless burgers are not advertised as healthier than real meat necessarily, but they benefit from that perception and don't actively try to convince consumers of the alternative either. It's kind of like how sugary cereals can say they're part of a complete breakfast without acknowledging that you need a lot of extra nutrition to make that claim true. It's not a lie, it's just an admission. There's also the fact that with all the processing that goes into a meatless burger, they may not actually be all that good for the environment when compared to real beef either.
Okay, so another interesting video from Simon Whistler and crew. Yeah, so was there something I didn't know? Pretty much everything. But I don't really look at the calorie intake, so I don't really pay attention to how much calories it's actually in the stuff that I eat and I drink. So, yes. Although I'm kind of surprised about the milk. I mean, I knew it's obviously fat. There is fat and there's high protein in the, I mean, maybe not protein, but you know, like he just explained it, but yeah. I'm guessing there's calories for sugar, not fat. So calories thing, oh, well, it's fine. Okay, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.